Hi and welcome everyone to the book launch of Summons from the Creator, which is organized by Loxley Hall Publishing and the Book Bakers. Before I introduce you to the guest of honor, let us welcome our panelists for today. First on the list is someone who is a best-selling author, marketing and communication professional. She is Preeti Pathak.
Hello everyone.
Hi ma'am. Next on the list is someone who is a global author, trainer and a filmmaker. He is Mehul Daruka.
Hi, thank you so much. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning and welcome. Then we have someone who is a management consultant, corporate trainer and published author. He is Jayant Swami. Welcome. And now let us all welcome the guest of honor, Priya Siddharth Sethi, the author of Summons from the Creator. Welcome everyone to the book launch.
Hello.
Congratulations to Priya.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Yes. So the first question goes to Priya. How did the idea of writing this book originate? And if you can tell us more about your book.
Definitely. But before I go on to answer this, I would like to really appreciate Preeti ma'am, Mehul sir and Jayant sir for joining this event, and of course you too for hosting it in a very nice manner. After working as a corporate lawyer for a few years, I decided to go the family way. Motherhood was, it was like a rebirth and a fascinating experience in itself. But on the flip side, a woman's life takes a 360-degree turn where she has to alter her life and her priorities. And at such crucial junctures, it is important and helpful if a woman has something to maintain her individuality while managing various roles in her life. So this is what happened with me when I found my passion and interest in writing. And at this time, the core aspirations of a person surfaced, and I started finding ease in expressing myself through words. And when I did that, I started with a blog. I started writing on topics which I liked, which were close to my heart, and also which bothered me a lot. Say, for example, female infanticide, depression, mental health. And I crafted short stories around it. It was not in an article form, and this was appreciated by everyone. So gradually this led to a novella, and now the novel, Summons from the Creator. So after this idea came up to me, I completed the book, but this was just halfway. Then I started looking for publishers and literary agents, and I stumbled upon Sohail and the Book Bakers, and he took it forward from there, and rest, as they say, is history. So that's how I published my debut novel, Summons from the Creator.
Yes, that's quite interesting. To tell you a fact to all of them who are watching and the panelists, I had a one-on-one session with Priya on my YouTube channel, and we discussed about the book. Trust me, it was really interesting and really fascinating. And to tell you a fact, I don't read a lot of books, but then when I got a chance to communicate with Priya, and the concept of her book was amazing. So this leads me to the next question. So let's go to Preeti. So Preeti ma'am, I would like to know, from a reader's point of view, if you can share with us your experience while reading the book, and what is the one thing that stands out for you?
Firstly, congratulations, Priya, on your debut novel, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading Summons from the Creator. Congratulations to Loxley Hall Publishing and to Sohail Mathur. And as usual, Sohail really brings up for us lovely gems who share such interesting stories. Rightly asked by you, Desmond, the book is very captivating indeed. I mean, we were discussing, I started reading the book and I read it through and through in one go. It wasn't like Priya said, oh yeah, the book is small, it is easy flow. I think it was the concept, the idea that was very captivating. And what I actually enjoy being a person into coaching and into understanding behavioral approaches of people. She has touched upon significant areas which actually have a lot of impact, influence, if we are talking in the current birth that we are in. The past has, she's touched on past life regressions, she's touched on topics related to girls, she's touched on topic related to, going to the roots of our karmic cycle, and there is a lot more happening. So there is a momentum. If when you're reading a book, you're visualizing, the picture is coming in front of you. So there is a good momentum going, and that's what I enjoyed the most in the book. And simply put across fact, I mean, a non-fiction concept amalgamated with lovely story, and that's a gliding flow. That's what I like a lot. And language is absolutely simple, relatable, and congratulations, Priya, once again.
Thank you so much, and what a great description. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with Preeti ma'am, because for me as a reader, what I enjoyed, what fascinated me was the past life regression and reincarnation. That concept in a book and that story, is really amazing for me as a reader. So let's go to Jai sir, and if he can tell us something about reincarnation, past life regression, because Summons from the Creator is all about this. If you can share your views, and how did you like the overall concept of the book?
Yeah, and first of all, congratulations, Priya, for a wonderful book, easy read. And then Desmond, thank you for hosting this show, bringing us all together. And my fellow panelists, I'm proud to be here sharing the stage with you all, like they say. And the other thing, before I launch into reincarnation or what I think about it, I kind of echo the sentiments Preeti expressed, how, there is this non-fiction concept and there's a story woven around it. And to me, that itself was what fascinated me. In fact, halfway through the book, I actually texted Priya and told her that. And what I felt is, at the center of the book is the theme of reincarnation. But then, like she was just telling us, there are things that bother her. And you can kind of see that in the myriad problems that she has kind of woven so well into this story of reincarnation. She touches upon mental health, sexual harassment, even untouchability in a brief way, and of course, child abuse. So she and what I really was fascinated is the way she brings all these together, and never ever swerving from the main theme, which is reincarnation. And to me, that is what captivated me. And having said that, there's another reason why this book vibed with me. So I happen to have done some research on the Gita for a book I've just completed writing, where I've tried to weave it with management. And then in the Gita, this is what Krishna says, right? To the soul, what the body is to the soul is like the clothes you wear to the body. The soul just gets rid of one set of clothes and goes and wears another one. And so that theme is what kind of vibed, and that is what we see in Summons from the Creator. And the other thing I also like is that, and without giving away the story to everybody, the whole aha that Amiya has about revenge. Revenge is what kind of binds her to, the cycle of life and death that the Gita calls samsara, whereas the purpose of human life is actually the opposite. It is to liberate yourself from the cycle. That's kind of what it is. And the other thing that I was really thinking about, especially as writers, right? What is that one motive that we all write our stories centered around? 70-80% of the time it's revenge, right? Nothing works as well as revenge to motivate or even create conflict in the stories. And in this book, if you really read it through the end, it's kind of inverted. Her redemption, the main character's redemption, is understanding this anomaly that revenge is what is responsible for the misery that she has created for herself. So that's kind of my few cents, if I may say so, on this wonderful concept and how it's all brought together.
That's nice. That's nice. And to also tell you another thing, I told Priya as well that Amiya's character is one of my favorite characters because, you know, she has gone through a lot of things in the story. So let's go to Priya once again. As a first-time author, if you can share with us who or what inspired you to write this book, and especially Amiya's character, if you can share some light on this.
Yes. See, we have layers to our personalities. And for me, the most interesting topic to write about was people and their personalities and the reason behind their formulation. I'm a person who always tries to look for reasonings to whatever happens in my life and whatever happens around me. So it was like action and reaction. So similarly, the story of this book is like, it's like peeling an onion. You peel every layer of a person, and what remains is the seed or the soul. And at the core of everything, it is our memories, our karmas, and our actions, and we are solely responsible for that. So I have tried to put very heavy topics like karma and reincarnation in a simple way, connected to the current scenario that we live in and whatever is happening around us. So Amiya, the protagonist of this book, she's not an alien to us. She's like us. She's a girl next door or a woman in our house also, who is successful, who is intelligent, doing really well in her professional life, but still she is going through anxieties, depression problems. There, she always feels that there is something missing in her life, and also self-doubt. So these are the ailments which have created a havoc in the younger generation these days. So I have tried to incorporate all these things and given it a logical ending, a logical reasoning, where there will be a message to everyone, whoever reads this book. So Amiya, so actually this book is about how she finds her life purpose and how she makes changes in her own lifestyle and choices, which help her in the long run.
That's nice. Anyone else who likes Amiya, or there is someone other character? If you can tell us, Preeti or Jai sir or Mehul sir, do you also like Amiya, or there is someone else, any other character which you like?
I think Amiya is the girl with all the action. The book is around her life, but it's not just that. The momentum and the lightness that character has, in the sense when she is going down the spiral, she's very aware of that. She's not a person who's unclear of what she wants, and she's also a go-getter. That is the aspect of Amiya which I liked. One. Second, what I liked was she's a no-nonsense person, and which is where there is a conflict within the character, that if I am a no-conflict person, and when her supposedly boss at one time tries to misbehave with her, it gets onto her. She gets into the spiral of introspection, and I guess, of course, now that we are connecting with the theory of past life regression, a similar pattern is happening in terms of the body reacting and all those experiences. But if you're talking as a very conscious, practical approach, that's the conflict going on within the character. If I don't take shit from anyone, why am I still struggling with this? So Kriti, her friend, is somewhere her mind talking loud out to her. And the other character, the orphanage, Kalavati, she is also bringing a lot of, she's the softer, I looked at it as that way. Kalavati is her voice, that's the soft side. And Kriti is the aggressive, I wouldn't say arrogant, but the aggressive types who does not take any nonsense. So yeah, to me, definitely, and it's revolving around her life journey and how she, like Jayan sir rightly said, it was, the closure was in a redemption. It wasn't any reversal, and the redemption with the same face which kept on lowering upon her time to time, age to age, era to era. When that closure happened, there was a redemption. So yeah, it was definitely amazing.
Yes. What about Mehul? Anything in regards to the characters?
Definitely, it is something that I second whatever Preeti ji mentioned. Amiya's character is definitely interesting. Being the protagonist, she has her highs and lows. There are a lot of twists and turns. There are a lot of back and forth that she goes through. Because when I picked up the book, I was reading. So, unfortunately, I'm not a very voracious reader. But when I picked her book up and I was reading, it kind of got me intrigued that, what is this suspense that is going to unfold? And how is it going to lead? I was very curious to know that what ultimately happens with Amiya. So I guess that is a brownie point for Priya because she's managed to keep that engagement on for the reader. And I also like the character of Preeti, because it's like a sounding board, that it brings in a little humor, it brings in a little bashing up. It kind of challenges Amiya, and because being a very close buddy to her, she kind of brings in a air of freshness for her and tries to put her off track and get her back on track. So that kind of a chemistry which was created was certainly good. So these two characters, I loved them.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing. So actually two things, make the two things. One is here, Amiya is the protagonist. She's also her own antagonist, right? The conflict is really within her. So that's the way I saw it. So, and definitely she is a flawed character, which is what we all write about, but then she's also likable. So I think that is really what is the winning point of the book, especially since, like everybody else said, it centers solely around Amiya. And the other thing I did like is, apart from the, I did agree with what Preeti said about the other two characters representing different facets of her personality. But what I was also impressed is how the fiancé and the parents are just used as her allies or supporting, because there is no additional conflict that she faces with them, which I think was kind of added to the effectiveness of the story. That way, we were able to focus on her inner conflict, making her the antagonist to her own protagonist. So these are the things that really made me jive for Amiya, vibe for Amiya, or root for her. I was trying to find the right word. Root for her.
So I agree with you, Jayan sir. In fact, the reversal in the plot started when she first meets Anurag. And that's where the story takes a twist, a turn in a favorable manner.
Yep. Yeah, the bad part the problem gets triggered by the bad boss, and then looking at the denouement gets triggered by her meeting the fiancé to be. Yes.
Yes, so one thing I also wanted to say was, whatever happens, there is a reason behind it. And if we pay keen attention to everything, then one thing leads to another, and there's a story behind it.
Yeah, that's nice, because for me, Amiya's character was, I could feel that pain, when I was reading. I could feel that pain, and I could kind of connect with her as well. Before I go to Mehul, I would just like to ask Priya, this character, Amiya's character, was this your own imagination when you were writing, or this is taken from someone, or you are inspired by this character from someone?
No, this is imagination. I haven't spotted Amiya as such, but she's a very common girl. We find her everywhere. That's what I said earlier. She is the girl next door, or she can be a successful woman in our family. So my basic idea was that a woman who is successful, is intelligent, and the problems that she goes through at her house or at her office, and how she can come out of it in a very spiritual manner.
That's nice. That's nice. So now let's go to Mehul sir. The question is, as an author yourself, how would you describe the journey of writing something sensitive and bold like Summons from the Creator? Do you think Priya has done a good job?
Definitely. The summons from the creator itself says that it has been penned down by a lawyer, because she is getting a summon from the creator herself. So that is very much, there. But before I get into the answer, so congratulations, Priya. A very hearty congratulations to you for your debut book novel launch. And I wish and pray that you have many more such great novels coming up. I know what is the adrenaline rush when you have your first novel, because 8 years back when I had my first published book, I can imagine. So I can definitely relate to your excitement today. So congratulations once again. And a great, I'm very blessed that I'm amongst this panel and I've been talking. So Preeti ji, I've heard about you a lot, but I had never got a chance to be there with you. And of course, Mr. Swami himself has been very active on the group, our group. And, thanks to book bakers as well to kind of pick the right jewels. And Suhail, of course, is a dynamic and, a very lovable guy. And he has done a great job in bringing out this good quality books that we see today. So coming to your answer, Desmond, definitely, what I was saying earlier, in my answer, that the character Amiya that has been sketched by Priya very ably is a character which, defines her personality. It kind of takes us through, it kind of keeps us curious. Now, I have my own book coming up very soon. So I know how difficult it is to engage a reader from the perspective of writing something like this, when your focus is entirely on one character and there is a protagonist who's been, fighting with her own self, like Mr. Swami rightly said, that she is her own antagonist because she's been back and forth thinking about it, her past life. She has this whole lot of blurry images and she's got this confusion within her mind. So she has compartmentalized her book very well, talking about each phase of Amiya's life. How did she go about? What is Amiya all about? How did she get into this? How did it begin? Where did she lead? How did she meet Anurag? So that entire story that she has beautifully weaved into this entire concept, and the way that she's trying to unfold layer by layer about what it is and how it is and how it is going to take, that is really a beautiful narrative. And she has really kept the pace. And it is not an easy task. I'm sure Priya and other authors will agree with me, to maintain that kind of an engagement for your reader, to have that constant touch, I always feel that anything creative needs to be like an ECG, electrocardiogram. It has to have its up and it has to have its down, because anything that goes flat, it becomes very monotonous and it becomes boring at the end of it. But I'm very glad and I'm really blessed to have read this book. The only reason is because I personally love suspense, I love thrillers, I love drama, and when they're all weaved together and when there is a good story that comes out of it as a narrative, it's a icing on the cake. So that is something that I love, and I must congratulate Priya of doing it. And I'm very intrigued and very curious to know how did she manage to do this. How did she manage to get this? My pleasure, Priya. But I would want to ask this question to you. How did you manage to get this kind of a thought, imagination, wherein you were able to weave the story so beautifully? What inspired you? I know Desmond has already asked, but because I am very curious, I wanted to ask this myself.
Yes, sure. As I said earlier, I like reading spiritual books and light occult books. So I came across this book about science of past life regression, written by Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi. So it was so intriguing and fascinating to understand the nitty-gritties of past life regression, that I read more upon the topic, and I thought, why not build a story around it? And frankly telling you, when I wrote this book, it was a book written by me to myself. I was looking for answers to my own questions. And as I started writing it, it just kept flowing. And at the end of the story, I found the answer. So it was a healing process for me.
Great, and to add to what I mentioned, when we talk about past life regressions, it has to ultimately make sense to the reader, because there is a lot that we talk about, we feel about, so there has to be the method to the madness, which certainly I witnessed in this book, and it is something that I loved thoroughly. So beautiful writing, Priya. All the best once again, and I hope to see many more such books of yours. Hopefully not with the name Summons.
Yes. It won't be.
I completely agree with Mehul sir, and for me what was interesting was the twist at the end. ये कहाँ से आ गए, ये समन्स कहाँ से आया, हम तो कुछ और ही देख रहे, किस और एक्शन ड्रामा में फंसे हुए हैं, and suddenly whoa, she's out there. So this was imagination at its peak, Priya, when you just caught on to that concept of past life, like we have to weave a story and take it up. And like you asked that question, Mehul sir. It brought in so much of perspective in understanding.
Yes.
Thank you, Preeti ji, but please do address me only as Mehul. Thank you so much.
Yes, so now Mehul sir can read a few lines from the book.
Oh, that's
Sir,
Yeah. So, so summons from the creator, and I'm going to be reading a paragraph from the page 161 with the chapter name Present Day. And to give a brief context about this paragraph, basically, I will not give away the story, but Amiya has been going through a lot of, certain interventions medically, and she's also undergoing certain sessions. What are those sessions and what are those medical interventions and what and how she is doing it? I will want the potential readers to take note of. So, what happens on a certain day after she's gone through this process is what I'm going to be reading. So, page 161, second paragraph on that. Bearing witness to this whole scene was Amiya, standing silently in the corner of the ICU, looking at herself lying on the bed, all wired up. She sympathized with Anurag, who bravely faced not only her mother, but Kriti too at the same time. She knew it was a tough task, especially in the given situation. At the same time, she had this terrifying thought, am I dead? It was a strange, but a pure and a light feeling. Amiya was almost weightless, as if all the baggage had been removed from her. However, the ECG machine attached to her through her fingertip showed a steady heartbeat, so she was still alive. As she wondered how this was possible, she saw a man in yellow robes walk up to her. He was not walking, but gliding swiftly. He stood in front of her with his head bowed and hands locked in front of him. So this was the paragraph, friends, that I wanted to read out. It's a beautiful, and what happens after this is something that you all must know and see. So pick your copy today, and I'm sure you'll be having a great surprise and a great revelation through this book.
I think you picked the most powerful scene, Mehul.
Most powerful.
I would have picked the same if I had to.
Yes. But the thing is, now since Priya's book is all about reincarnation and past life regression, do you all believe in it? I would like to ask everyone if you all can share your thoughts and views. Let's start with Priya.
Yes, I do believe in it. I do believe that it's the same soul which wears different clothes in different lives, and it depends on the way we conduct ourselves and the way the actions that we do. That's how our next life is shaped. So I do believe in past life regressions, as in reincarnation. Sorry.
Yes, that's nice. Let's go to Preeti.
तुम मानो तो है, न मानो तो कुछ भी नहीं है. बाकी सब मिथ्या है, ये श्री कृष्ण ही कहते हैं. But yes, so I truly believe, and going by the words that we read also in the Bhagavad Gita, what Jayant sir also spoke about, which is a fact. It is the soul that is gliding through the journey. The rest of all is just a illusion, and we are trapped in several delusions. So those delusions tie us in the bond of karma, what we call. What karma is actually unfinished learning. So if I am relating this with our story, till the time Amiya had not finished her learning, the same karma kept on coming again and again. And she was not getting her redemption by the living people with her. It is only when she dug into her past, there was a rough skeleton. But to give a closure happened when she had a divine intervention. I call it as a divine intervention. So yeah, this theoretically, scientifically, it has been proved. We have many books of Dr. Brian Weiss also talking of past life regressions, Robert Short's books. So it is the soul which is going through its journey. And when we tap into the past and we bring out the jewels only to enhance or enrich our life in the current living, we are able to progress forward. So absolutely. And like I said, being a coach and having written books on mindfulness of emotion, they are deeply rooted in our emotions and they create a lot of tremors within. Just like Amiya, if we bring awareness and attention to these, does the math start getting calculated backward? And then can we move 10 steps forward? I hope I've answered your question. I went a little more.
Yes,
That's
beautiful.
so wonderfully put, really.
Thank you.
Let's go to Jayan sir.
So more than do I believe or not, I think I have my own concept that whatever, it's really the body and the mind is not me. There is something deeper, which we could call it the soul. And then going with the principle of energy, right? The soul cannot be destroyed. So there is probably this huge pool of consciousness, or what the Gita calls universal consciousness, right? So a part of it just enters us, and when we die, it goes out of us, goes back to the pool. So that is my concept, which we could equate it with reincarnation. And as far as proof or proving to somebody else, it's something that's not easy, right? It's khayale apne apne, right? It's really our own beliefs. So that's what I would go with. But personally speaking, believe it or not, somewhere when I was in my 30s or whatever, I kind of had the strong belief that I was a Buddhist monk in my previous birth. And the reason is, I was always enamored by Buddhism. And it always represented peace. And I was 7 or 8 years old. We had a history lesson on Buddha, and there was this word called nirvana. But believe it or not, to this day, I understood what the word was when I was 8 years old. I understood the concept, just as a metaphor, right? As an experience. So some of these things do make me wonder, believe, whatever you call it, that I might have been a Buddhist monk in my life. It's possible. So that's kind of my convoluted answer to your simple question, Desmond.
Yes. Mehul sir?
Yes, so I second Preetiji's thoughts because karma, unfinished learning, and if you believe in something, mano ya na mano, wo wale jo baat hai, usme I completely second. So personally, I am a kind of person, if I don't experience or I don't see, touch, feel, or get anything such any such vibe, I don't generally believe in it. As simple as even for the spooky stories that we keep talking about. So for me personally, reincarnation, I have not had any such experience, or I have not had any such story around me which people talk about. But yes, in our mythological tales that we keep hearing and we keep talking about it, and when we are brought up with these stories. We are told, when we visit a temple, there are such many stories that come up. So that makes me wonder that there has to be some truth to the concept of reincarnation. But I am not wholly there. I don't completely believe in it because, like I said, there is no reason for me as of yet to believe, because there are so many tales and things that go around that make us probably wonder and think about it. It at least triggers our thoughts, if nothing more. But yes, the belief is still very much not there, and I hope I don't get that kind of a belief also about my own reincarnation. Maybe I may start thinking about I was somebody else maybe sometime later. But yes, as of today, I am not a firm believer of reincarnation.
That's nice. So let's go to the last segment, which is a rapid fire question. So the first question is to Preeti. If you can describe the book in one word.
Captivating. I was trotting between two words, but you said only one word.
Okay,
so I said
two words. No problem.
interesting and captivating.
That's nice. That's nice. Now let's go to Jay sir. Who is your favorite character? I think so. We all know that.
Reincarnation. That's my favorite character. I changed my answer.
Yes, and Mehul sir, how did you like Priya's writing style?
Oh, which I have already mentioned, and I
Yes,
think
in
I,
one word.
expressed it through my question to Priya. So it was beautiful, considering that it's a debut novel. It doesn't come across as such, because she's really taken the pain and effort to have an intriguing story, like I've already mentioned. So, great. It's a thumbs up to me from my side to her writing.
Yes, and last is Priya. If you can tell us one reason why people should read this book.
If you are looking for an interesting and a meaningful read, then you should definitely pick Summons from the Creator. And also, if you're looking for a quick thrill to experience, then this is the book you should go for.
Yes, this is the book you should go for. If whoever wants to buy the book, I'll leave the book link in the description, so you can just go click and go and buy the book. So now we can show the book on the screen, everyone. I will take a screenshot.
On my copy ready. Is it clear?
Yes. 3, 2, 1. Yes. So I think so we are done. If anyone would like to say anything, any last words, Priya, before we go, if you can also tell us what's your next project in terms of writing. Have you decided anything, or is it too soon to ask you this?
I have started writing. It reached halfway, but still too early to comment upon. It is a kind of a legal drama or a crime thriller. Let's see how it shapes up.
So I guess the lawyer in you does not sleep, huh, Priya?
Wow.
It is not sleeping. I don't want my knowledge to go waste.
Superb. Congratulations and best of luck. We're looking forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Waiting for it. And Desmond, thank you very much. That was a great job.
Yes. Thank you everyone for joining in, and hopefully we will meet again once Priya comes up with her next book. We will have another book launch very soon.
Thank you, Desmond. You have done a great job. Thank you so much for getting us all together. And once again, congratulations, Priya, and all the best to the other panelists. May you have great, successful books and great projects and great life and great health forever.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And Desmond, that was superb. I just enjoyed. We glided through the panel discussion. I think our conversation is going to be off this session also, now that we are all connected, and looking forward to interacting more with all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Desmond.
Yeah. And also thank
I
you
would
to
like to
Suhail
thank
for
everyone.
creating this family.
That's what I was about to say.
Also, before we end, I would like to thank Sohail Mathur from the Book Bakers in Loxley Hall for organizing this event, and he keeps messaging me, did you thank me? Did you thank Book Bakers? Did you thank Loxley Hall? So this is for Sohail if you're watching. Thanks once again, and thank you all for joining in, and hopefully we shall see you all once again very soon.
Thank you everyone for your efforts, and I really appreciate you joining the session and making it a success. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, Priya. All the best. God bless.